Welcome back to the Aussie Prepper channel and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're actually documenting a real life prepping situation, and this is why every person out there should be prepping to some degree. Now I live in what's considered to be a remote regional area on the mid-north coast of Australia, and if you've been watching the news at all you'd probably know that there's been a lot of rain and a lot of flooding. Where I live, I have been completely cut off from the outside world for the last 4 days. As you can see there, it's just after 1 PM on Monday the 22nd of March, and there is no mobile service at all. Now it's been like that since Friday, probably around 4 PM. So we've basically had 3 days of being completely cut off from the outside world. There's no mobile service, there's no internet, there's no phone service, and we are cut off, and all the roads are closed. No one can get in, no one can get out. I've had some minor issues and I'll insert some video over my talking here, and as you can see, our garage at home got completely flooded, or well, not completely flooded, it had a fair bit of water come into it, and that is just because of the sheer volume of water that come down over the last few days. Now this apparently is the most rain we've had in over 100 years, and I believe, without having had access to the internet, TV or anything else for that matter, that this is the highest that water in this area has ever been in over 100 years. Now let's go into my shed, and as you can see here, my shed has also flooded. Unfortunately the video is a little bit dark because obviously we've got no light, so I'm just filming this with my camera. I've lived here for quite a few years and we've had a lot of rain and it has never been this bad. We have never had this amount of water in the shed. Now as you can see here, the driveway has partially washed away, and look, these are only very minor issues that I've had with these extreme weather conditions. Like, people have literally lost their houses, their businesses, their animals like livestock, horses have died and drowned in these conditions. And some of these pictures and videos that I'm showing you now, I didn't actually take, they're just generic photos I got off the internet. And as you can see here, there's a house floating down the Manning River, and these poor people lost their house, and this happened on the day that they were supposed to get married, and I believe they also had their dog in the house and some other pets possibly, and they've lost all those, so that's very sad. And look, no amount of prepping could prepare you for that. There's nothing you can do about that sort of stuff, unfortunately. It's just, nature. The prepping should have been done, honestly, before the house is getting built. But look, apparently that house had been there for a long time. When I bought my property, I did do a full risk assessment on bushfires, bushfire areas and flood areas and all that sort of stuff. Like, every place I've always lived and bought, I have done that basic assessment of, if the extreme happens, will my property or will my house be safe? And as you can see, we have survived this flood with very minor issues. And I'll show you now. I've actually discovered here why my shed actually flooded. The drainage got blocked up, and look, it probably wasn't done right. I didn't do that drainage. That was done when the shed was getting built by the concreter, I believe. And I'm going to fix that drainage up so that this will never happen again. So look, we've had a once in a 100-year downpour of water. It might happen again. Like, there's predictions of extreme weather for the future coming up in general worldwide. So I'm learning from what's happened here, and it's part of my nature to learn, and I don't want my shed to fill up with water again. So I'm doing this work here. I've dug all this up, and you can see the pipe is a little bit damaged there, and that wasn't me, that's how it was. So I've dug this out, and I'm going to fix the drainage up once and for all in a way that will not get blocked, and the water will freely drain away for the rest of all eternity that I'm living here, and it will keep my shed dry from now on, no matter how much rain. Look, if we get more rain than what we've had, I might get some water in the shed again, but I doubt that's going to happen, and I think from now on I'll be good. The other thing that I wasn't as prepared as I'd like to be, as you can see here, I've got my generator, and I've got a couple of leads running into the house. One lead is to power the fridge, the other lead powers our big chest freezer, and we've also got a lead running down to the water pump so we can have showers and running water. We do get some running water without the pump having power from the tanks being gravity fed, but there's not a lot of water pressure. So I'd like to run some power down to the water pump so we can have full water pressure showers and that sort of stuff. Now, in the not too distant future, the next job that I'll be doing is hardwiring the generator into the house. So that means all the fridges will be running off their normal power points. It means the lights will work. It means possibly the TV will work, I think. The electrician that I've consulted about it said that the 9 kVA generator that I've got is sufficient to run the whole house. So I'll be able to have hot water showers. All the fridges will be running. Now, all our cooking is done with gas. As you can see here, I've got plenty of gas bottles that are stored in the garage, and those gas bottles can give us about 6 months to a year's worth of gas. So we're good for gas. Once the generator is wired into the house, it'll just give us that extra little bit of comfort. It's not essential, it's just luxury basically. I mean, we're doing perfectly fine the way it is, and we haven't had power since Friday. It's now Monday arvo. I don't think we'll see power in the next few days, to be honest. And I will do an update for you guys when the power gets wired into the house, just so you can see how that works. So it basically means there's a special switch and power point that gets wired into the meter box, which isolates the house from the grid, and then I can plug the generator into the meter box and it will just run the house as per normal. And like I said, we've got a 9 kVA generator, and supposedly that's enough to run the whole house. Apart from maybe the oven, but look, in these sort of situations I mainly use the outdoor barbecue anyway. We've got the little barbecue outside that we use to cook all our meat and stuff anyway. There you go, there's a perfect reason why every person should be a prepper. Now I'll insert some video here about some of the stuff that's happened in our local area. Now some of these pictures I just pulled off the internet, and some of this stuff is filmed by myself. And as you can see here, the situation is not really good for some people. Here's a few people having a drink in the local pub. I believe this is in Port Macquarie, and they're literally standing in waist deep water, and they've got their dog up on the table there. And here's some other pictures. Here's a picture of the cafe at Kendall, which doesn't seem to be doing too well, unfortunately. And it's not like they haven't had enough issues to deal with lately with the pandemic and everything else that's been going on. And now their cafe's underwater. So I'm hoping for their sake that they've got the insurance paid up for that. Otherwise, I'm guessing they'll be in a lot of trouble. I'd love you to leave a comment down below with your flood stories, and also any disaster situations that you have been in where being prepared has helped you make life a little bit more comfortable or even survive the situation.